Maseches Nazir daf nun ches. Und the Gemara daf nun zayin mit beis is machlikas of Huna and of Ad Bar Ava, and Tisa says there's two different machlikas in. One is that Rav Huna holds that ladies don't have the issa to be makif or ish. However, Ad Bar Ava holds there is a issa, and there's another machlikas if there's a issa for a godel to be makif for koton. Rav Huna holds the chayiv, and Rav Ad Bar Ava holds the potter, and Taisa says there's two independent machlokes, and however the Briskerov is medayik in a mefarish that these two machlokes in Atali Zebezet, and the Briskerov explains that the side of the machlokes is totally in a tremendous chakir, and the gather of the Issa Makif is the Issa Makif, or Issa Bifnei Atzma on the Makif, or the side of the Issa Makif is to be mashva the hakofa on the nikif. Ein shir the el daf memdal the report Briskerov clears this chakira the gabi the beer in the Rambam v'ayin shom, and the Briskerov says that the machlikas of Huna and Ad Bar Ava is that Huna holds that is the issa bifnei atzmi on the makif, and therefore he is the issa even on the cotton, even though the cotton is a lav bar chiyuva, nevertheless there's an independent issa on the makif. However, if Ad Bar Ava holds the whole issa on the makif is to make the hakofa on the nikif, and since the nikif is a lav bar chiyuv, there's no issa on the makif. And the Briskerov says that it's totally in this chakira, the machlokes that they're arguing by noshim, because Rav Huna holds the is an independent issa on the makif, and that issa the Gemara learns out according to Rav Huna kol sheyeshne b'ashchos yeshne b'akofo, and since noshim don't have a issa ashchoso, they don't have a issa hakofo. However, if Ad Bar Ava does not learn out kol sheyeshne b'ashchos yeshne b'akofo, because according to Ad Bar Ava the entire issa on the makif is to make the hashchosa on the nikif, and the whole din on the makif is midini hanikif. So therefore there's no halacha that you have to compare the makif to the nikif. All the dinim of the isser is mitzad the nikif itself. And according to this mahalich, the Briskerov answers Taisis is kasha on Rav Ad Bar Ava that since Rav Ad Bar Ava holds there's a hekesh makif to nikif, the hu adin. You should learn out a nikif from a makif, and if the makif is a lav bar chiyuv because the cotton or isha, so who did the nikif should be potter. And the Briskerov says that according to his mahalach it's beautiful, because the gedder in the hekesh according to Ad Bar Ava is not a hekesh ba'alma, rather the gedder is the whole yisoid of the issa of the makif is to be mashva hakofa on the nikif. And therefore, the whole yisoid of the issa is that the makif is like the nikif, but you can't learn out that the nikif should be like the makif b'chlal. Moving further on, Taisis brings a raya that you don't say that according to Ad Bar Ava, the same way there's a hekesh makif to nikif, who then it should be a hekesh nikif to makif, and Taisis says it can't be like I mentioned before, because if that would be the case, that has a pass that would deicha the lav of hakofa by mitzayra. You shouldn't be deicha the lav b'chlal. You should take a isha or a koton or a goy to be makif the mitzayra, and since the makif is a lav bar chiyuv, and the nikif also is not being go either issa b'chlal, so Tay says it must be a koch. You see, you don't have a hekesh, and therefore even though the makif is a lav bar chiyuv, the nikif is still over the issa. There's a tremendous arichas nachroinim on this Taisis. The achroinim ask, Ein Karen Uyu, the Shar Melech, they ask, what's the understanding in Taisis? The Taisis says a havamina that a isha and a cotton and a goy will be able to be market for mitzayra. It's mvur in Taisis Koinim, it's put in the Rambam that the chiyav giluach on a mitzayra is specifically with a koyin. So how could a isha or a goy or a cotton be mekayim the mitzvahs giluach of mitzayra? Ein Karen Uyu that learns that Taisis is not like the Rambam, and the Shar Melech says that Taisis understood that Al Gemara is mavur not like the Torah's Koyanim, and there's no mitzvah of giluach of a koyin. Ein Psalm Roish, and others that say that even according to the Rambam that there is a mitzvah in the Kohen's not ma'akiv, and eigentlich some sefer, and Meshulam that's brought in Moshe and in Cheschinach that say a third teretz. Even though there's a mitzvah of Giluach Mitzvah and the Kohen, nevertheless, it's not a steer to Taisis because the mitzvah's Giluach Mitzvah is the last two Cyrus, and therefore a goy and an Eved Isha could start the Giluach, and they could cut off the payas, and a Kohen could finish the Giluach. I know the Karen Eira, and the Beskroven stencils that discuss if, according to the Teres Kohenim, that there's a chiv specifically on a Kohen, could have been Mekayim, the mitzvah's Giluach with a Kohen Koton, and the Beskrov brings from the Rambam that's mavur that a Kohen Cotton could be marin the goyim. So you see, a Kohen Cotton is included in the mitzvah's Kohenim. However, the Karen Ur is mechiach from the Rambam in Hilchas Saita that a Megillah Saita that a Kohen Cotton wrote is possible because the mitzvah is specifically with a Kohen. It's mashma that a mitzvah that has to be niskayim with a kohen cannot be niskayim with a kohen koton. However, the Beskov asks that the Rambam is shver Memarav shach because the reason why a kohen koton can't write a Megillah Sota is because it's missing in the Shema. Ein upon him Yofis in Mitzayra that explains that's mashma and Tosis over here that a Eishes kohen could be megaleach a Mitzayra. And even though the mitzvah is on Koyanim, it's not dafka or zocher of Koyanim. Even Eishes Koyan can mekayim the mitzvah of Mitzvah. And he says this, it's mistaber like that because it's not probable that the chiv is for a Koyan to megaleach the base hastorim of a isha that's a Mitzvah or sakorchoch. Or Eishes Koyan can mekayim the mitzvah of giluach of a Mitzvah. Moving further on, I'm the Beis Halevi and Afikeyam. They ask a tremendous kash on Tosis. They say, although Tosis proved that the Chiv on the Nikif is totally in the Chiv of the Makif, but Al Koponim it's Tzorachim because since it's Mavur and Tosis that the mitzvah of Giluach and Mitzvah could be Neskayim with a cotton and Isha and a Goy, so how could the mitzvah of Giluach Mitzvah be niskayim through Esedei Chaloisa? Say it's Efsha Yidei Acher, since you could be Mekayim the mitzvah with the Giluach of a Koton and the Isha that's alive by Chiyuva, although mitzad the Issa of the Nikif there's no nafkamina, but mitzad the Issa the Makif there is a nafkamina. And therefore, the makif should not be allowed to be over the issa giluach because it's efshai de acherim. And according to Rish Lakish, when it's efshai de acher, it doesn't pass esed de chaloisa say. So the Beis Halevi says a tremendous yisoid. They prove from this Tosis, and he says that with this Yisod, he answers many kashas that the Chodim ask. On that, the Rish Lakish holds that the whole Esed Dechalisa says only when it's Ef Shalakayim Shneim. He says that Ef Shalakayim Shneim is specifically when this person that's doing the mitzvah could be Mekayim Shneim. However, when the person that's doing the mitzvah can't be Mekayim Shneim, it's only Efshai De Acher through a Isha or through a cotton, through a goy, and that's not considered Efshai Lekayim Shneim. Eine Fikayam that learns the same mahalach and he's moisif in the kudo that specifically because it is an independent mitzvah on the makif besides the mitzvah on the nikif. There's independent mitzvah on the makif, and the makif is oimed to mekayim the mitzvah, and that's ef shlekayim shneim. Eine shil el daf mem aleph that brought from many achronim that they're not like that Fikayam, and there's no mitzvah fnei atzma in the makif b'chlal. And the Beis Halevi and the Afikiyam ask a tremendous kasha on this yisoid. How could you say the Efshel Lekayim Shneim is specifically when the person that's oimed to do the mitzvah could be Mekayim Shneim? It's Shrev Gemara in Shabbos Daf Kuf Lamed Gimel, which mentions Shila El and Daf Mem Aleph, that the Gemara says in Shabbos by Mila Bitzaras that the Av is being over Issa Tzaras. And the Gemara asks, how could he be over if there's someone else that could do the mitzvah lavid acher and it's efshel kayim shneim? And the Beis Levi asked, that's very schwer according to his Yesod, since the father can't be mekayim the mitzvah without being over the issa of Ktsitzas Beheres, it should be considered EF Shilakayim Shneim. On that, the Beis Levi says the answer to this kasha is that there's two independent mitzvahs in the mitzvah of Mila. There's a mitzvah of Mila that's a mitzvah on the son to get gemalt, and there's another mitzvah that's a mitzvah mesuyim on the father. And he says that Tosis says that the reason why say by Mila B'tzaras is because Mila is chomer, because his nichasu ala yid gimel brisis, and he says that specifically the ikr mitzvah on the child, but mitzad the chiv on the father. And that specific mitzvah of the father was nichasu ala yid gimel brisis, so therefore the tchiyah is specifically on the ikr mitzvah of the child and not on the mitzvah of the father. So therefore it's also hated that the Gemara says it's efshel kayim shneim, although the father won't be mekayim his mitzvah, mitzad the mitzvah of the father doesn't pass tchiyah b'chlal v'ayin sham oid barichas.